Hello, my dear learners. How are you all? I hope you all are doing good. So, my dear learners, here I welcome you all in your computer class. I am your computer educator. I am Yashvi. So, I welcome you all in your beautiful, wonderful, interesting computer class. Okay? So, my dear learners, here we will start up your computer classes with chapter number first. Okay? We are covering the whole book. So, start with chapter number first of your book. So, are you ready for this series? Because in this series, we are covering the whole book of your computer. Okay? So, ready? Are you ready? Okay, I'm hoping so. All of my students are ready for this. Okay, so starting with chapter number first, this chapter is the evolution of computers. How the computers evolved according to the times. We also see in the previous years, if you've seen the computers that comes in very heavy, very large in a size, but nowadays the computers comes in a very compactable form. Okay, so we will see how the computers evolved according to the time. Okay, then we will see the computer language. Does the computer also have a language? Yes, my dear learners, computer also have the language. So we will see what are the language of the computer. Okay, now then we will see how the computer translate it, how the computer understand what I am telling the computer. Does computer know Hindi English? No, computer don't know. Computer only know the machine language. Then how the computer understand what I am telling to the computer, what command I am giving to the computer? So let's see how the computer understands. So we will see the whole process, how the computer form, how the computer evolve. Okay, so this thing we have to discuss in this class. Interesting? So let's start. So first meet your friend Marvin. So hi, I am Marvin. Friends, till now we have learned that computer is an electronic device that takes some input, process it and gives the output. This is the main function of a computer, that takes input, then after it process it, and then after they give you the output, or we can say the result. So the computer that we use these days, like desktop, laptop, iPads, are quite faster. Nowadays the iPads, tabs, desktops that is coming up, they are more faster. They can perform many tasks within a second. These are so fast that they perform many tasks in a second. However, computers were always not so fast. They are slow, used to generate a lot of heat and use a huge quantities of electricity. If I talk about the computers that are there in 90s, at the time of 90s, 80s, that computers takes lots of electricity and release lots of heat. But nowadays computers are very compactable. They do not release any heat. They do not consume any electricity. Okay. So did you the first computer evolved into the current version of computer? In this chapter we will learn about the evolution of a computer. But before we get into the evolution of a computer, we must know that calculating devices that actually led to the invention of a computer. Let's see how the invention of a computer take place, how the computer evolved, who made these discoveries, who is the one who is behind all these things. Okay, do you want to know? So let's start. So first we will see components of a computer system. So what are the components that is there in the computer system? First is calculating devices. So computer also have the calculating devices. Okay, how these calculating devices are made and what is the idea behind of it, how this idea came into it. That like in computer also we have to put calculating devices to do calculations. First we will see abacus. Abacus is this thing children are using this to add and subtract something. They are using numbers with the help of abacus. So abacus is the first calculating device invented by the man. So this is the first calculating devices. Okay, It is said that Chinese abacus was the first calculating machines used in China around 500 BC. So this abacus is used in China in 500 BC. It used stone on the soil for calculations. So they use stone for the calculations. Later, when it is popularly grown, portable version of these beads were designed to do calculations. When it developed, now the beads are coming up for the calculation purpose. Next is Nefer bones. What's that? This is a Nefer bones. So the Nefer bones was invented by mathematician John Nefer in 1670. It was the manual calculating device. It was the manually, because it is not machine, you have to manually calculate it. This device could perform addition, subtraction, division and multiplications. With this Nefer device, we can able to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. The principal used in this device were Arab mathematician lattice multiplication and Fibonacci work. Next, other calculating devices are Pascaline. What's that? This is a Pascaline. This is also used for the calculation purpose. So this is Pascaline. So it was developed by the French mathematicians Basil Pascal. Of course, Pascal is Pascaline, derived from the Pascal name. So Pascaline is also known as the world's first calculator. Who is known as the world's first calculator? That is Pascaline. It was manually calculator, but the first one to be produced in the mass quantity. So this is the calculator that produced in a mass, in a larger number. Okay. Second is difference engine. It is difference engine. So difference engine was designed by English mathematician Charles Babbage in 1822. 1822, Charles Babbage invented this machine, or we can say difference engine. It was called the father of modern computer because he invented the first automated machine calculator. The difference engine could calculate mathematical tables, but it could not be used for long because the engine's spare part could not be reproduced. So this is also can be used. That is difference engine. Next is analytical engine. What's that? Analytical engine. So after the failure of the difference engine, Charles Babbage proposed another computing device known as analytical engine in the 1833 to 34. Because difference engine is failed totally. So now Charles Babbage, that is created difference engine, that the person is created some other instrument known as analytical engine. It was general purpose device and had all the main parts of a modern day computer. Okay, that is an input unit, an output unit and a processing unit. So all the things that is there in a computer, like an input unit, process unit and output unit, all these units are there in the analytical engine. However, it took almost a century for the first computer to be built in 1940. So in 1940, see, the first computer is made with the help of these inventions, these theories. Okay. Now we will see tabulating machine. So this is a tabulating machine. So the tabulating machine was the first computing device that was developed by the Herman Hollerith, and it is used for handling huge amount of data. So they do calculations a lot or a large number of data. In 1880, it was used to complete the US population census. See, in 1880, they do the US population census. See the huge amount of data they can calculate. They can calculate the, we can say, number of a person living in a US. They do the census of US. Okay, so that's why tabulating machines are very powerful, very useful and good one. Next is ASCC. What is ASCC? That is Automatic Sequence Control Computer. That is ASCC. It was the first electromechanical machines manufactured by IBM in 1941. It was also known as Howard Mark I. It assists in war efforts during the World War II. So this machine ASCC is used in the World War II. It was the first machines on which the first program was executed in 1944 by John von Neumann. Was ASCC we reach a stage where he had a device similar to the modern day computer. So now let us see some different types of computers. So now I'm hoping so that for the calculation purpose, what are the things that is there? Okay, abacus, kniffer, cascalene, difference engine, analytical engines, all these things. Now we will see some of the different types of computers. Okay, so in the previous classes we studied the different generation of computer and how computer evolved over different time periods. We already know different time periods have different types of computers are working on. Did you notice that initially generators of computers were categorized according to the computing devices they use? For example, our vacuum tubes, chips, etc. Now all computers use microprocessors for processing. They are categorized according to the microprocessor being used. Let us discuss different types of computers as per the microprocessor they use. It's just because of the microprocessor these computers are different from one another. First computer is microcomputer. Micro, that means the smaller computers. So microcomputers are those computers that are used for general computing in day-to-day life. Normally we use microcomputers. Okay, these computers are in small in size, consume less electricity and less expensive. So they are not so much expensive, consume less electricity, so they are compatible. So they are used in homes, schools, offices, banks, shops. So these computers used in everywhere. Let us have a look on various microcomputers that are used by people all over the world. Let's see what are these computers that is used all over the world. First is desktop computer. This is the desktop computer. So these computers are designed to be placed on the top of the desks and used there as its name say. It is desktop. Okay, so it is put in the desk, so that's why it is desktop computers. We have to put in the desk or in a table. Okay, these are general purpose computers that can be used in home, offices, banks. Normally desktop computers are used in homes, in offices, in schools. Normally day-to-day activities we can do with the help of microcomputers. That smaller computers, that less expensive computers, consume less electricity, and they are in the size smaller. So desktop have CPU, monitors, keyboard, mouse, speakers, etc. So desktop computers, all these parts: keyboard, mouse, CPU, and speaker, printer, etc. They need electric power to operate. They need electric power to operate, and if the electricity supply is interrupted, these computers switch off. Okay, so these computers run with the help of electricity. If electricity is there, then these computers can able to run or can able to perform their duty. If electricity is if electricity is gone is not there, they are powered off. We can attach a UPS to them to give power backup to desktop. So if you have this uninterrupted power supply, that is UPS, then only you can able to use the computer or the desktop when the electricity is not there. Okay, so this is the desktop computer, the computer that we have to put in the desk. So this is the desktop computer. Next, nowadays laptops are coming up. Every home has a laptop. Okay, we do not use phones. We do all the work like presentations, PowerPoint, and everything in the laptops. Okay, so what is a laptop? How the laptops are useful nowadays? Let's see. As the name suggests, these computers are small as well as light enough to carry anywhere. So we can carry these laptops anywhere, any of the places, because they are lightweight, they are compactable, they do not take large sizes. We can put laptops in our bag, we can hand it like this. Okay, and laptop has a special thing, that laptop has all the things inbuilt. They have the speaker, they have the keyboard, they have the mouse, they have the CPU, they have everything. They in the desktops, every part of the computer is separated, but in the laptop, all the things are there in the laptop only. You do not have to purchase the speaker or keyboard separately. So as the name suggests, these computers are very small as well as light enough to carry anywhere. They can be put on the lap or for work. We can put in the lap to do the work. Okay, so because they are very lightweighted. They are portable and use batteries for power. So they are very portable. You can hand it, you can carry it anywhere. The keyboards and the mouse are attached to the laptop monitor as shown as in a picture. See, all the keyboards and mouse are already attached in the laptop. The laptop mouse is called the touchpad. What is it called? Touchpad. The computer, or we can say the laptop mouse, is known as touchpad because with the touch the mouse can able to perform the functions. Modern day laptop have very high capabilities and can do anything that a desktop can do. So the work of desktop is able to perform by the laptop nowadays. Now tablets are also being used very popularly. People are using tablets. This is not the tablets when you feel sick, when you are not in a healthy mood or in healthy conditions. This is the electronic version. So tablets are smaller than laptops and consist only of a big monitor or a screen. So tablets do not have a separate monitor or separate keyboard or mouse just like a laptop has. They all the things, because it is touch screen, so you do not need any what we can say keyboards or a mouse. Okay, so these are the tablets. They do not have keyboard or mouse like a laptop. So they do not have keyboard or a mouse. Whenever a keyboard or a mouse is required to be used, it appears on the screen and can be used by touching on the screen. So by touching on the screen, we can use all these things. We do not need any separate keyboard or a mouse. So these tablets are much handy and easy to carry. Typically, tablet sizes 5 inches, 8 inches or 10 inches. Okay. So as much as we can see, as compared desktop as compared to laptop, they are much smaller as compared to both of them. Okay. They are commonly used for reading ebooks, access the internet, viewing photos and documents, watching movies, listening to the music. So all these things that we can do in the desktop or in the laptop, we can do in tablets also. Okay, now game console. This is a game console. What does they do? Let's see. This is also a type of computer. Okay, see. So I'm hoping so. Micro computers in the microcomputers, desktop, laptop, and tablets are clear to you. Now let's move on. Fourth point: game console. A game console is used to play video games. So as the name suggests, or as by the picture, these things are used to play a video games. So we get gaming consoles with many PlayStation's games. They can also be brought separately from the market. This device has a screen, a joystick, a speaker, and a button for control. So they have all these things: speaker, joysticks, and a button to control. It may be connected to a computer or a television as well as. Oh, okay. So this game consoles can be connected to your computer or your televisions for playing the games. Okay, and the mobile phone is also there. This is the mobile phone. Everyone has nowadays. iPhones are very popular. So mobile phones are held devices that can be used to make or receive calls, text messages, send emails, browse the internet, record and view videos, play games. So we can do anything on the mobile phone. We can able to make presentations, we can watch videos, we can listen to music, we can play games, anything we can do. Unlike tablet, smartphone has only one touch screen, so a mouse is not required. So nowadays, phone is also a touch screen, so we do not need anything like a mouse or keyboard separately. Okay. Now we will see embedded system. What does embedded system? So have you noticed your mom put dirty clothes in a washing machine and press some button? Yes, normally in the washing machines, dirty clothes are put and your mother put some buttons on it. So that's why your clothes can wash properly. After some time, she get wash and dry clothes automatically. Yes, after some time, you can see your clothes are washed and dried also. How it happen? How does it happen? How the washing machine wash all your clothes and become dried it? Automatic washing machines have an embedded system inside them. Of course, these automatic washing machine has a system inbuilt. With these systems, they can able to perform. Okay, so embedded system have all the essential components of a computer system like a CPU, RAM, ROM, input and output. However, they do not have a screen, keyboards or a mouse. See, Embedded system does not have a keyboard or a mouse, but they have all the things of a computer like CPU, RAM, ROM, and all these things are there in the embedded system. So we can say device that contain embedded computer chips are known as digital devices. So the one that have the digital chips is known as digital devices or smart devices. So we can call this as a digital devices or a smart devices. Both are equal. So these systems are called microcontrollers. Examples of these devices that have microcontrol including TV, digital cameras, washing machines, microwaves, printers, or automobiles. So these are the automatically controlled through a chip, or we can say embedded system. Okay, so washing machines, your AC, your microwaves, your printers are automatically controlled through a digital chip that is inside in itself. So these are the some example of microcomputers. Now, mini computers. This is the mini computers. They have computer, but the size of that is very small. So mini computers are bigger in size than our microcomputers. So they are bigger in size. What they are bigger in size as compared to microcomputers that I already told you about, the laptops, desktops, tablets. So they are bigger in size. Mini computers are bigger in size than the microcomputers, because in this we can see about microcomputers. See, microcomputers. So they are bigger than, mini is bigger than the micro. So mini is bigger. Okay, mini is bigger than micro. Okay. So they have high processing speed, but are more expensive as well. As they have high speed, but they are expensive, because as we know, microcomputers are cheaper, but mini computers are expensive. Mini computers are multi-user multitasking systems that can support up to 200 users simultaneously. They are suitable for organizing like banks, university, hospital, etc. So normally in the banks, hospitals, these mini computers are used, so because they perform lots of tasks in a very fast way. Okay, whereas large amounts of data and information needs to handle. These are mostly used in the offices, in the banks, in the hospitals, where the large amount of data has to be kept or stored. So they can store a large amount of data and they can perform very fast. Okay, now we will see some mainframe computers. What is mainframe computers? What are they? How they look? What is their role? Let's see. So mainframe computers are much more powerful than mini computers. See, microcomputer, mini computer, and they are much more better than micro or mini. They are mainframe computers. Okay, so they are large in size. What they are? They are large in size. See the size of these computers. They are large in size, have a large memory, and have a high speed as well as. So they are all the things in a very great way. Okay, so they are very large. They have a high speed. Okay, so they can design to handle a huge amount of data, usually in a real time. So they also handle a large amount of data like a mini computer do. So they can also handle a large amount of data. So they can support hundreds of users simultaneously. So what they do, they support large numbers of users. Mainframe computers are used for weather forecasting, railway reservations, airline reservations, stock exchange, etc. So they mostly in the stock exchange, in the weather forecast, it is important. Someone asks you where we can use these computers. We can use these computers here, normally in the weather forecast, railway reservations, and in the stock exchange market, because in these markets we have to store large amount of data and we need a high speed computers. So we use these computers that are known as mainframe computers. So micro, mini, and mainframe, please mark it according to you. Okay, so mainframes act as a server that support many mini computers and micro computers as a client machine. They have inbuilt operating systems and other software for enhancing securities. Example of mainframe computers are IBM Z series and PGP-10, etc. So these are the examples of mainframe. Now supercomputers, that is very popular in 20th century, 21 centuries. Okay, so these are the very popular. Let's see what are they. As the name suggests, they are most powerful computers on the earth. They are very powerful computers. They are used for performing tasks that are in time intensive as well as complexes. So they can perform complex tasks. The most powerful supercomputers on earth right now is the Chinese supercomputer Sunway Taikul Lite. So this is the name of Chinese supercomputer. What's the name? Sunway Taikul Lite. The most common user of supercomputers are testing mathematical modes of complex physical phenomena such as climate and weather, the evolution of cosmos, nuclear weapons, reactors, and new chemical components. So these are the things we can use. We can do on the supercomputers related to something very sensitive or very, we can say, what we can say, complex tasks like a nuclear reactor, about the nuclear reactor, how the evolution of cosmos take place, about the climate change, about the chemical properties or the chemical components. All these things are be done by the supercomputers. These computers are clear to you? Micro, mini, mainframe, super. These are the 4 types of computer. First is microcomputers, second is mini computers, third is mainframe computers, and fourth is supercomputers. Supercomputers are fastest one. सबसे slow is sorry for that. The slowest computer is the microcomputers, then the mini, and then the mainframe, and then the supercomputers are the fastest one. Types of computer clear? Now, computer language. We all have the language, like we know Hindi, English, and some other language also. So computer also have the language. Let's see what the computer have. What's the language the computer is using? So a computer is a medium that is used for communication between 2 or more people. With the help of computer, we can able to communicate with 2 or more people. Both parties must understand the same language to be able to communicate effectively. Of course, if you understand my language and if I understand your language, then we and I able to communicate properly. If you cannot understand my language, I cannot understand your language, then it is impossible to connect with you. This means that if we want to share some ideas, give suggestions or give instructions, then we need a language. Of course, we need a language to communicate our feelings, thoughts, express what we are facing now. So language is very important. So computers understand only the language zeros and ones. This is known as the binary language. What's that? This is the binary language which the computer understands it. So we need to give instruction to computer in a binary language. So in the binary language, we have to give instructions to the computer. But binary language is very difficult to understand and remember for the programmers. This binary language are very difficult to understand. So other programming language have been developed that are easy for them to use and give instructions to the computer. The different languages also made up, so that's why our computer can able to perform well. Okay, so let us learn about different types of language and how these language evolve over the times. Let's see how these language evolve according according to the time. First is machine level language, that is MLL. In the short form, we can call MLL, machine level language. Machine level language. Machine level language is a set of instructions written as a sequence of zeros and ones. What is it? It is written in a sequence of zeros and one. Programmers feed their instructions directly to the CPU and the CPU execute them. MLL is a first generation computer. What's that? It is a first generation computer. This language is also known as elementary language of a computer. Binary language or elementary language of the computer, and MLL is the first generation computer. Now see, let's the characteristics of MLL language. That is machine level language. First is MLL is a machine dependent language. What's that? It is a machine dependent language, which means that each machine will have its own separate language or set of instructions that can be used to run only that system. So these are the some instructions that can run only in this system. Second, a programmer must know and understand the computer architecture to write program in MLL. If you want to, the program should understand how we can able to write anything in MLL. This is because memory manipulations is done by the programmer itself. Third, MLL instructions are executed very quickly because they are given directly to the memory. Okay, so they can do very fast. They can MLL instructions are very fast. Next, remembering the binary code of the language is very difficult. So remembering all these codes are very difficult. Okay, as a set of instruction is limited in MLL, so it is difficult to develop our application in MLL. So this is MLL and how they work. Okay, I'm hoping so all these things are clear to you. Okay, now we will see second thing, that is assembly level language. First one is clear to you, that is machine level language. Next we will see assembly level language, that is ALL. So assembly level language is a second language generation language. What's that? Second generation language. In this language, each instruction is given in a mnemonic, or we can say mnemonic are the English word that have a pre-decided meaning in assembly level language. Okay, for example, say this is the code. Okay, was the instruction to read in a value of machine language. In assembly language, this instruction would be given in mnemonic read. Assembly language is easier as compared to MLL language. Of course, this code cannot able to understand, but if it is written in assembly language, it might be easier for you to understand. Now we will see some characteristics of assembly language. What are the characteristics? Let's see. So first is assembly language is a machine dependent. What's that? It is a machine dependent. So assembly language is a machine dependent. So each computer system have its own instruction set and mnemonic. This means that each machine has its own assembly level language. So each machine has their own assembly level language, and assembly language is compared to MLL, it is easier. Second, like MLL, ALL also require a detailed knowledge of computer architecture to write program. Okay. Third, this language is not directly understood by the computer. Of course, this ALL is not understood directly by the computer. So we need to translate program with the language. Of course, we have to translate it. So assemblers, we will discuss in detail in the later class. Of course, in the later we will discuss how we can able to translate it. Okay. Now we will see high level language, that is HLL. Machine and assembly is clear. Now we will see high level language. Let's see what are they. Okay. High level language uses English like words for giving instructions to computer. So high level language means we use English words. So that's why the English words to the computer. So that's why they can perform the function. These language use created in the third generation computers. In the third generation computers, high level language are be there. In the second generation computer, which language? Assembly language are there. In the first generation computer, machine level language are there. So machine language are there in the first generation, assembly language are there in the second generation, and in third generation high level language is there. Okay, so we can say these language was created in the third generation of computer, when computers could be used for general purpose tasks beside industries and defense. Okay, instructions are written as a syntax for giving instructions to the computers to do a certain task. So see, instructions are written in the English language, so that's why the computer, that's why we and the computer can able to understand. So this is the language. Okay, the like read a value, add a true number, delete a value, etc. Let's see what is the we can say function or characteristics of high level language. First is high level language instructions are easy to remember. It is easy. Second, they are machine independent. They are machine independent. So the same program or software can run on more than one machines without any change. So this program can run on more than one machines. Third, it is much easier than the machine level and assembly level language. And fourth, since high level language are easy, more and more people are developing software using HLL. Example of high level language are Basic, COBOL, Fortran, C++, Java. So these are the language comes under, these are the examples comes under high level language. So these are the examples, more important one. These are high level language used in the third generation of computer. Next is the fourth generation language. What is a fourth generation language? That is 4GL. We can write 4GL. So fourth generation language are similar to the language that we speak. Of course, third level language is related to the English. It is related to what the language we are speaking. This is the language which I am speaking, is the fourth generation language of the computer. So the most popular example of 4GL is SQL, that is special query language. That is SQL. Here the user needs to tell the system that needs to be done, like close a file, update a file, or delete a file. So this speaks in a way. Okay. So the instruction required for the system to do all these tasks are a part of software itself. 4GLs have become very popular because the user just need to know the instructions set by the language and how it is used. They do not have to write each instruction for the computer to execute as the other language. So 4GLs have ensures rapid application development as well as enable every person to turn into a programmer or software developer without the need of formal training. This is the fourth generation language. Okay, so these are the four types of language. Assembly. Now, first one is machine, assembly, high, and then fourth generation, that is 4GL. Okay, now we will see language processor. How the language can process in the computer. Okay, so did you ever get a chance to visit a place where people did not speak your language? Yes, sometimes we go in a place where people cannot understand our language. They cannot understand what I want to say. So what did you do to communicate with them? If they do not understand my language, how I can able to communicate with that person, that people's? You must have adopt any of these techniques. So what you can opt? You can opt this one, either one of the two techniques. First, you can use the sign language to communicate with the people. Of course, if they do not understand my language, I can use my signs to communicate with it. Like if I say I want water, like this, I can use. Okay. Second, you hire a person who know both the language. Of course, you can hire a person or we can say a translator. Okay, so that they can translate. They know that language and they know my language also. Okay, so you hire a person who know both the language and could act as an intermediate between the two. Of course, these two things we can able to do. Okay, if I want to communicate that people that does not know my language. Okay, so I need a sign language or I need a intermediator. Okay, so as you know that a computer understand only binary language, whereas humans or programmers use high level language to create a software. Of course, human beings and everyone can understand high level language, but the computer can understand only the binary language. In case how a computer understand these instructions, so how the computer can understand what I want to say? There comes the use of language processor. So here comes the role of language processor. So computer use special software called language processor or translators to convert high level instructions to the binary or high level instructions. See, these language processors convert your high level language into the binary language so that the computer can understand, and they can also change binary to high level language and high level language to binary language. Okay, they can change both of them. Okay, so the program that needs to be converted from high level language to machine level language is known as source code. So the machine's level program obtained from the source code is called object code. So there are three types of translators available. So these are the three types of translator. First is assemblers. What do assemblers do? What do interpreter do? What do compiler do? Let's see, let's discuss. First is assemblers. So, and assemblers convert high assembly language program into machine level program, and vice versa. Means assembly language to machine language and machine language to assembly language we can able to convert with the help of assembler. Second is interpreter. Interpreter. So an interpreter convert one instruction of the source code into the object code at a time. It goes line by line. If there is an error in the instruction, the interpreter will proceed only after that is corrected. The interpreter code can give as an output by the interpreter is converted into the object code at the time of executions. Interpreter was the fast only if the program has only sequential instruction. Next, compiler. So a compiler is a software that converts source into object code at once. So source code to object code they can convert. The compiler give a list of error which must be correct before it can be executed. So they give you the error also. So you have to correct it, then only that can be executed. A compiler program is very fast to execute as compared to the interpreted program because the source code is already available in the compiled program. So these are the things. These are the things that we have to know. We will see how the computers evolved according to the time. What are the computer language? How the computer understand our language and how we can understand the computer language. It's just because of these things. So this is the first chapter of your book. I am hoping so the first chapter is totally clear to you. Yes? Any doubt? If you have any doubt, any queries, comment down below. I am here for you to help you out, everyone. But first, after watching this video, now this chapter is over, just revise this again, okay? Then only it become easier for you to understand. So yeah, this is a chapter all about. So thank you so much, my dear learners, for watching this video. I will meet you with your another video with another chapter. That's all. Thank you so much. Have a good day.